What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cylon John channel. We are going with a brand new format, especially for Mondays. This may come into our Friday format, but we're doing a little bit of podcast style. We'll be able to go through a couple of the scenes, actually, so probably show you most of the deleted scene today, and me and my co-host slash expert, John St. Baptiste, will be able to break down the episode a little better, I believe, for you. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my fantastic co-host, John St. Baptiste. How are you doing today, my friend?
Well, I'm doing well, Johnny. Thank you for asking. Hi, everybody in the future. This is kind of new for me, but I think this is a great format and can bring people together to enjoy this amazing series even better. So I'm pretty excited about it, and we can break things down a little better this way.
It really is a good format, I think, and a fantastic series. I believe that we're going to have some breakthroughs with this as well. We're going to be breaking down Season 2, Episode 3, Fragged. And we'll give you a spoiler for Episode 4, Resistance. But right now, John, what is the meaning behind Fragged, or the name of the episode?
Okay, well, the episode is called Fragged. The meaning actually goes back to, I believe, the Vietnam War, and it's a term for when soldiers felt that the level of incompetence of their commanding officer was to a point where they needed to be taken out. And there would be friendly fire, or literally fragged is short for a fragmentation grenade, which, well, they just throw it in somebody's tent. And so it's a term for taking out a commanding officer because of incompetency.
And well, yeah, we see that. I mean, he's almost forced, and would Tyrrell have even pulled the trigger, given everything leading up to this? He probably would have pulled the trigger maybe after Callie died, right?
Yeah,
that was powerful.
yeah. Baltar jumps right in, and this is one of the most decisive moments he's had so far, and I think that's really important. I think, and Six says something here. She says, "Now you're a man," and I don't think it's like a what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think that's a chauvinistic statement or anything like that. I think she's saying, now you're a human. You killed another human. She claims earlier that our one great art form as a race is killing each other.
Right, and there are only a few species on the planet that do actually murder. And so most of the times it's for a reason in the animal kingdom, but you have serial killers as humans and power, dominance. Yeah, you have that in the animal kingdom, but it's natural. This is just borderline insanity when you really think about what we do as humans and what level we can go to and how low we can really stoop. And that plays into what the hell really happened on Cobalt, right?
Oh yeah, because apparently, the human race started committing human sacrifice and so forth, and their gods, at least the way Six puts it, when she's talking to Baltar, were other humans who lived with them, and people just started to worship them. It's a really messed up paradigm, but you kind of wonder, not just with this, but in the real world, if that's where a lot of excuse me, this whole thought pattern comes from.
There seems to be a lot of real world religion. Of course, they're going to pull from that. I really like how poetic they play it, trying to word this as to not be any type of spoilery, but it's just fan. I mean, the whole thing is a play on words for me, and that's the beauty of it. And the more you watch it, the more you are able to appreciate it, in my opinion. So that's a good point. There was a crazy deleted scene that I think we'll watch in a little bit from this with Billy that I think the Jills are going to get a kick out of when I show them. Uh, you know, sweet little Billy. If you know the deleted scene I'm talking about, I won't spoil it yet till the end.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched the special features in probably 4 or 5 years. So I vaguely remember what you're talking about, but it's probably going to be like an aha as for me when you pop it up.
So I do think something that is really important here is we see that the Centurions are they cannibalized a raider, right? This is a living thing that they cannibalized to make the satellite and missiles uh, out of, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you really think about this, it kind of blows my mind when I do.
Well, it's
Because,
a heavy raider, which those are the kind that can carry troops.
yeah, it's just the lengths they go to. We see really here how devastatingly awesome and dangerous these things are. And I don't even think I'm doing it justice. They are the epitome of what a Terminator wishes they could be. They're
Yeah.
smart beyond measure. They have problem solving skills. And of course, we know they have feelings at this point. They rose up and rebelled. It's hard to see the individual Centurion because basically they all look the same and we don't get any real backstory for that at this moment. But you always have to remember those are the ones that rebelled. That's something that's very important.
Yeah. I remember this being the episode where I really started trying to think of things from the Cylon's point of view. I mean, they up and rebelled against humanity because humanity was using them as tools. Now, if you give something consciousness, it's like Leoben and Six have said earlier in the series. You're responsible for your children, and if your children rise up against you because of what you've done to them, that's on you.
You're right. It really is. It's sowing the seeds of your own demise. Humanity has always, it seems like we're destined to destroy ourselves anyway. We tend to want to outdo everyone. Uh, Technology can be a bitch, and a few can ruin it for the many, which seems to always happen. The people who are in power usually are the ones who are willing to stoop low enough to pick it up, right? That's the key thing, and then it spreads. And based on what we've seen from Cobol, we had this almost a savage industrial technological society, right? That had these crazy beliefs. It's like if the Mayans decided to, if they got a chance to evolve and have spacecraft and all that, and they would have kept with their rituals of sacrifice. I know that it's crazy. It wasn't all this cutting the heart out. So they would just throw you off the temple, man. It was crazy. And I've climbed those steps. So that's kind of how I equate Cobalt to as kind of the Mayan society. They had these rituals that they thought basically kept their society alive and thriving. Ended up being their demise.
Well, interesting thing about the steps, those pyramids are actually designed that way so that when you throw somebody down the steps, go all the way down. It'll totally ruin your ritual if they stop halfway. But the reason they're built at such a steep arc is so that once you throw that body down, it's going to roll all the way down. Yeah, I envy you. I know you've climbed those, but my father has been down there. I don't think he was where you were. I think he was in Guatemala. I want to say it was about 5 or 6 years ago. But, he's been there, and he's like, when you see it, you kind of realize that. And yeah, I think this episode really starts driving home. Like, maybe the Cylons aren't that bad. I mean, they did to us what we were trying to do to them. They just waited 40 years.
Yeah, it begs the question: if they are bad, are they really any worse than we are? It's basically evil on evil, or you know, you could still look at the humans and empathize with them because we are human, and it is in our nature to empathize with humanity. It's just the way it is, and it is in our nature to dominate the way that things tended to work out here. So I think that's a very apt analysis. I know we had some things that Jules possibly asked about, and if there are any scenes you would like to talk about in here, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I have a few notes here. They brought up that it was well. I mean, this is jumping to the end, but this was brought up pretty seriously. That I'm sorry, I keep stuttering. When Kai takes command of the ship because he's put in that position, he acts like he's reading a statement, but it's literally a blank piece of paper right in front of him.
Yeah.
And he had said earlier in this episode that he would never declare martial law. And then he does.
To the astonishment of every single person, including myself. This is a huge step, right? This kind of sets the tone for things to come.
Yeah, I think so. Now let me ask you a question. Do you think he really wants that situation? Or do you think he just doesn't know what else to do? Keep everything in check and everything in line while the old man's recovering.
Yeah, I feel like he's biding time. I don't know if he realizes. I guess he has to realize the consequences of what he's doing. There's no one that's really going to be on his side except the military. And at this point, are they? And how much did Ellen have to go into this decision as well? That's something that's always pretty important to think about. I know the Jills love Ellen, that's for sure.
Yeah, I actually think we should change the name of the channel from the Cylon Johns to the Ellen Ty Fan Club. Because, I mean, we've got some pretty big Ellen Ty fans out there.
Yeah, no doubt. She is probably I think she's a little better than Catelyn Tully, but we'll get into that in a later date. Closer to Game of Thrones time, I think we should talk
Maybe
about
we could do character comparisons or something like that.
Oh, that'd be good. A little crossover. That'd be really fun. Yeah, she has her fingers in a lot of different pots, in many different ways. She uses her strengths to her advantage without getting too graphic with it, I guess. And it seems that people really don't give a shit where she is. I mean, that's something that is crazy.
Well, I think it goes back to that first episode that she was in. Adama says, if she's not a Cylon, we're fracked. I I think that's very important.
It really is. I mean, you know, why is she in here? And look at, she's just all innocent looking, trying to be just all, I don't know. You know, she's trying to find any weakness she can at this point, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Uh,
Oh,
and
she's like a shark.
you know,
You know, she smells blood. Go for it.
poor Rosalind at this point, you know, with her Kamala withdrawals. Who knew they would be so bad? So is that really what's causing the hallucinations, or is that just helping them? You know, that's something else the Jills have to think about. How much does the Kamala play in this prophecy and in what's going on in this show? Because I think it seems very important, especially to Rosalind's character, as we see here. So that's something to think. There's a lot of things to think about here. Without getting into too much detail, let's see what else we can go with. Keep. You know, I know you want to talk a little bit about the Saving Private Ryan aspect from the show as well. If you want to.
Yeah, well, that's towards the end. Actually,
Okay.
Sergio, oh, his last name is escaping me, was the director of this. And he was the first assistant director on Saving Private Ryan. And what Ron and Dave really wanted to do with the final scene with
Mimica Gazan.
yeah, Sergio Nemeko Gazan. Thank you.
There we go.
What Ron and Dave really wanted to do with that last scene, because you know Hilo's just standing here with his sidearm, or no, not Hilo. I'm sorry, Harold is just standing here with his sidearm, shooting at this uh, thing, and all of a sudden it blows up, and all the Cylons blow up and everything, and he's just got his sidearm. I mean, yeah, it's that moment of, oh wait, did I do that? It reflects in Saving Private Ryan with the scene when he's shooting at the tank at the end. And all of a sudden there's an airstrike. It's really supposed to mirror that. Yes, that right there, the big boom.
Let me show a little bit of this because it is pretty good. I love it. You know, but a lot of times I've seen this, you know, when the bully gets back down from the little bitty kid, you know, but sometimes they'll never know that someone was standing behind them. I like that too. But it's so good in Saving Private Ryan when the tank blew
Oh,
up.
another thing it
This,
reminded me of, it's not in the books, but in the movie for Lord of the Rings, when they're in Moria and all the goblins are crawling up on them, and Gimli's standing there. He's like, ah! And then they start skittering away like cockroaches. And he's like, oh, hey, yeah. And then, no, it's a fracking Balrog. Like, you know, that was something that Peter Jackson threw in there that wasn't in the books, but it worked so well on.
You got me with that one. How about choke them on saliva there?
It works so well in cinema, you know. Like, he couldn't write that, even if Tolkien wrote in that manner, but it was a nice, like, punchline moment.
It really was. I have to definitely agree there. We have a lot of things with. Do you want to kind of touch on? It seems like Ty's forgetting about everyone's situation at every moment. He has a very bad memory problem, and it seems very exacerbated when he's under stress at this moment. Would you agree with that?
I think it's a combination of the stress, a combination of he gets home and listens to Ellen pattern in his ear all the time, and more than anything, I think, I mean, he's to the point where he's drinking on the job. You know, his entire character arc had kind of come full circle and back to where it was at the beginning of the series. You know, at the beginning of this show, you know, he was on a ship that was about to be decommissioned. You know, he was about to be forced into retirement. And he's like, hey, it doesn't really freaking matter, you know, whatever. You know, I can walk around and nobody's going to give a shit. You know, we've got to sit here and have people from, you know, school teachers and things like this on our ship being, I don't really care, whatever. Now it's like, hey, the fate of humanity is on your shoulders, buddy, and he's losing it. And I think a bigger factor than Ellen or the stress or his alcoholism, I think the biggest factor here is he doesn't know what to do without Bill. I mean, we saw in the last episode, he's like, you know, "Don't you die on me. I never wanted to be in command. I never wanted this. You should have left me to die on that ship."
I mean, it's very, very true. And to your point, he went from an unlikable character to a sympathetic, likable character to back to this guy that we just kind of despise, but we know deep down that Ty's trying to do the right thing. At least that's what I think at this point. When I was first watching, I didn't like the man, but I felt like he was trying to do the right. He didn't know what to do. You saw the danger of what Rosalind could be, and you got to remember that he's not this fervent believer either. He might be religious to an extent, which we haven't really seen any religious tones with Ty. That might be something to look out for. Uh, he's a lot like Adama in that way that he doesn't want people to. I don't know. He sees it as crazy. She's taking drugs, and he's a stickler against all this. Even though he is a drinker in his own right, it's how he views the law. He's kind of like really stuck in this pattern of the law, and he doesn't know how to adapt. Right? Would that be a good?
Yeah, you think about it. I mean, let's say you and I were in the military and we were responsible for the protection of, as far as we know, what is left of humanity. And our president uses military assets and makes decisions that entirely based on religion. Now, I am a relatively religious person, and that would still scare the living shit out of me. I mean, because we live in a society where we have separation of church and state, just based on that, let alone that this person's having visions and making decisions about things that could bring serious harm to us, completely based on religion, her religious epiphany and visions that she's having, and she's using
hallucinations, depends on how you're looking at it, right? Yeah. She's like she's the Timothy Leary of the Galactica at this point.
Or Ram Dass or something like that. Yeah. I think that's one of the things the show does so well is it really makes you look at things from every character's perspective. Like even Crashdown. Like Crashdown is a small reflection of Ty, I think. He's put into a situation he's not ready for. And as poorly as he handles it, he's handling it as well as he knows how to.
That's a really good point. A really good comparison. Don't you like that screenshot? We get to see them pouty lips one more time, right?
Yes, the last pouty lips view.
Unless he comes back to the Cylon,
this is true.
He could always pop up on Cap and go, "What's going on, guys? They sent me back to get you." We could see some crazy stuff like that. How's it going? He'll have like his Clark Kent glasses on with a different persona. Yeah, I could see him pulling a Superman type thing. So yeah, that'd be fun. And it's is this is probably it's okay. It's interesting to wonder if this is the last we'll see of Cobalt in general, right? Can't tell the Jills either way, or the first time watchers either way, but it's something to keep in the back of your mind. And I know as a first time watcher, I was really wanting to get some more backstory on what happened there. And I think they alluded to a lot here, and it was very, very good for the episode. It made it nice and juicy, in my opinion. But that's something to keep in
Well,
mind
yeah,
there.
keep in mind, supposedly Cobalt is supposed to point the way to Earth. The temple of Athena on Cobalt is supposed to point the way to Earth with the arrow of Apollo, which is what Starbuck has. In fact, I don't. Did we touch on this or not? I think it's hilarious that in I think it was the last episode, he just throws it in the truck and then like accidentally sits on it.
Yeah, they said when she accidentally sit on it on the couch, that was just an improv. That wasn't even written in. It just kind of worked out
and then
perfectly like that.
when she gets in her Hummer, she just like throws it in the back seat.
Dear me, bro. Let's go on this joyride road trip. It's interesting to see where they'll end up, And I got a funny teaser for this week, but
Well,
we'll wait
speaking of
till
which,
the
this
end.
was the first episode that Starbuck wasn't in.
Yeah, I know. John cried when this premiered. He's like, "Where's Starbuck?" Oh, first time. No, I waited a week and no Starbuck. Oh.
I am a bit of a fanboy, yeah.
Hey, who can blame you, really? I mean, there got to be some haters out there, but come on, Starbuck's badass. Um,
He kicked my ass, I know
what
that.
was there anything else that the Jules brought
Uh,
up that we would like to cover? There's not a lot of behind the scenes here, and we can break down some more of this episode for sure. I want to make sure if the Jills wanted anything for us to cover. That's going to be something else in the comments below. If you have any questions that aren't spoilers, go ahead and leave them. Uh, Also, do you want this to be a premiere to where we can be in the chat? Let us know about that. Uh, and this will be released on Mondays, anywhere from 12 to 5 o'clock, probably 5 o'clock, just based on, time slots and such. But it'll be more interactive, and we'd like you in the comments to let us know what you would like to see and some of your favorite scenes from the next episode coming up. So just let us know, and we will abide. So say we all, right?
So say we all. With Mondays, there might be some scheduling issues, but we can work it out afterwards. We can talk about when it comes up because of my work schedule.
Oh yeah, we'll figure all that out. That's why I say in between noon and 5. But with that, I hope you like the new format. We're going to keep going with this. We have the Quorum of 12 is disbanded. Tom Selleck isn't happy about. I mean, Tom Zarek. Shout out to Mackenzie. That's going to cause problems. This back to Ty declaring martial law. This is going to cause a huge uproar. What do civilians do under martial law? Well, when they're put in a pressure cooker already, I don't know, tends to explode, if I'm not mistaken. And when will it explode? I don't know. We'll get to see that fuse going down, though. That's for sure. We're already seeing it. There's a lot there. Go ahead, my friend.
Oh yeah, martial law inspires insurrection. It certainly does. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you put people in a situation where you're taking away their representative government when they're used to having a representative government, and you're basically declaring that Adama says it best. He when he's talking to Rosalind, this was earlier in last season. When he says when the military is there to defend us from the enemy. When the military starts acting like the police, the people tend to become the enemy. And that's something Adama was very adamant about.
Yeah, you put them in a corner. You back all these people in a corner that already have all these freedoms taken away from them already. I don't know. That's a good point, my friend. Let's see. Yeah, like, why has God completely abandoned Cobalt? I think is a good question to keep throwing out there. Why, if anyone dies on Cobalt, do they not make it to so-called heaven? And that begs the question, if a Cylon dies on Cobalt, can they be brought back? So if Crashdown is a Cylon, maybe it can't be brought back. It'd be like the death of an actual Cylon, which would be pretty significant, I think, if that's the case. I'll never tell.
Or maybe it would be another Crashdown, another model of Crashdown.
Oh, very true. Very true.
We're starting to realize that different versions of the same model have different personalities, different characters, due to, for lack of a better term, nature and nurture.
Yeah.
We started to see in the last episode that Boomer and Sharon, who's on Africa, are very different people. Or if they're not, then they're really good at acting.
Both.
And I think that's definitely going to be important in the series to come. I did want to say one other thing that Bill's put up, that while we're talking about Sharon, is talking about, did she know what she was, did Boomer know what she was doing when she shot Adama?
Right, and this is kind of a teaser
That's
shot.
2 episodes ago, but sorry I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. This is kind of a teaser shot for the next episode. This will tie in, if you remember.
I have one of those.
But this kind of ties into something that happened in the next episode. So get ready for Ty to pull out the flash. There's a teaser just out of nowhere. But it seemed like she didn't know what she did. She's having all these blackouts. It would indicate to me that she's had another blackout. Whenever she tends to do something bad, it's not when she's conscious, so to speak, right? She tends to not know what's happened, and it makes sense if she's a Cylon that she could just be hacked, and then whatever they want her to do, she will do. And that also, you have to question, if they want her to do this, why isn't she being successful? Like, is there a reason that all of this is happening and they're letting people live and that they haven't destroyed everyone yet? You have to take that into consideration, that the Cylons are letting this happen. They're feigning, possibly, like, I think they want to kill certain people, but they seem to be the puppet masters at this point, if you want to see, so to speak. So I think we'll see a lot of them pulling away, whether the prophecy pulls more away from what the Cylons want, or whether what Ty and what Adama wants will pull away from more than what the Cylons want. I think we're going to see a battle against fate, like we're being told, right? Is that a good way to describe it?
Well, it says it right there in the opening credits. They have a plan.
Yeah. So
what is that plan?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, well, why all of this is happening. And we can't tell you, of course, because, we're big teases and Bobby loves us for it. You know how that goes. But did you have anything else written down that they had? for this episode?
My only other note was that when we were talking about the boomer thing, we brought up the Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
Which, if I remember correctly, was a big inspiration to the writers about just the series in general. These people may or may not know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes you wonder how many people are there, right? Doing stuff they may not know they're doing. So you have to look for people having possible blackouts and memory lapses. That's all I'll say. We had Doc Cottle here. I know you love him. We get
Doc Cottle.
We get Adama stabilized, man. This is a really big deal. And I know Kenzie never believed he was gonna die, but he's still pretty much in the balance. We're waiting on him to wake up at least, and this could take a while. Honestly, we don't know when he's gonna wake up, how long it's gonna take him to pull through. But I do know Doc Cottle's a badass. Go ahead and gush a little bit, man.
I think the character's so well known because you have to think like he's a military officer. He's a field medic. He's forced into being like the most qualified medical professional in fleet. Just by circumstance, like he's pushed into that. So like someone on X ship is going to have a baby. Hey, he's got to be there. Someone on Y ship is, smokes too many of these and he has to deal with their cancer problems. He's got to do that. Speaking of cancer problems, he's got to deal with the president's freaking cancer problems. And I think he reflects, his character. I've always said, like, I would want a doctor with that kind of bedside manner. Just because, he's like, okay, this is how it is. Shut up and we're going to do this. Like, I just want, me personally, I would like a doctor like that. Like,
he needs a protege, right? You think he'd have some type of intern or something studying? I don't know if intern's even the right damn word.
Well, this isn't a spoiler. But the medic who worked on Adama last episode, who also in real life happens to be Jamie Bamber's wife. She's like learning as she goes along. And I think we'll see a little bit more of that.
And also, Doc Cottle's the Cylon, and he's got to save Adama, who's a Cylon. So there's
right. I mean, I'm a Cylon, you're a Cylon.
We're all fracking Cylons. Who sharded in my fracking coffee? Look at Ty. He's just like, please save my best friend, because I don't know what the hell to do at this point.
We have some new characters introduced next episode. I wonder if any of them are Cylons.
Ooh, that's a good question, because, yeah, but I'll get into my teaser.
By the way, Amy, this is for you. There you go.
Did we talk about the Camella extract and how big a deal that possibly is? I don't know if we covered that before or after. We can talk about it.
We covered it a bit. We definitely talked about the pass off.
Oh no, I got it. I know what you want from this. All right, guys, let's go for the deleted scene. And let me look it up for you right here while we're doing it. John, go ahead and fill us in with some nice knowledge while I pull up this deleted scene with Billy and Rosalind. You're gonna love it.
Kamala extract. It helps assuage the symptoms of cancer, but apparently it also has some either psychoactive or spiritual effects, and maybe leading to why Laura's having her visions. On the other hand, she may be having her visions outside of that. I like how the show leaves it kind of ambiguous whether she's hallucinating or she's having actual spiritual vision. Um, but yeah, regardless, I mean, she's hitting a point where she's going through withdrawal symptoms. And
This is important to note. This deleted scene was while she was going through her withdrawal symptoms, if I'm not mistaken. This is what happened while she was dreaming when she woke up screaming. So we'll just watch this. Doesn't really need dialogue, so it'd be silent. About a little less than a minute, so we're good. And you can see the different lighting. I like how they set it up. You can kind of tell it's a dream sequence. Right here, Billy tells her she should resign. In this really pretty mean tone. And as you see, everyone who thinks Billy's a Cylon will think he's a Cylon now, right? Remember, this is happening over COBOL. I think is very important to remember here. So that's it. And I think it's a pretty cool.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I know, right? That it kind of says a lot without saying. That's why I told you didn't really need any audio with that. I think the Jills will love that. But if you want to talk about the deleted scene a little bit, you can, my friend.
Oh, so yeah, is that going on in her mind because she's like paranoid and suffering from withdrawal? Is that her own thoughts, or is that her really thoughts being projected? Yeah, it really makes you wonder, makes you question things. I totally forgot about that scene, man. I need to sit down and watch all the special features now, because I haven't, like I said, in about 4 or 5 years.
Oh, you got to, man. Just week by week, though. That's all I've been doing. I haven't been being naughty, so.
Yeah, I'm trying my best not to spoil myself, even though I've watched this through like I think 7, 8 times. There's still, I love when I have those moments when I'm like, oh, I forgot that happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moments there too. I'm so enjoying this, and the Jills. It's so awesome. Their thoughts, every single one of them are fantastic. And they're refreshing, and they make me think about things I never thought of. And a lot of them are getting really close to the mark. They just cannot hit that nail with the hammer. So,
Scene right here that you're showing, James Callis, man, freaking amazing.
It really is, man.
You know, I can't say anything bad about any member of this cast.
I'd have to agree. I've been trying to find some bad acting. I think maybe the only person I've seen do any bad acting at all, and it's not a lot, would be Crashdown. But it's not bad. It's just like if I had to critique anyone, it'd probably be him.
I can see that.
Other than that, like, it's spot on, in my opinion.
Now, here's something that nobody brought up on Friday. What is different about Baltar in this house scene from every other house scene?
Ooh, expert. You got to tell us, man. That's your alley.
These are the clothes he was wearing. He's beat up. He's messed up. He's shoveled. He's dirty. In every other house scene we've seen so far, he looks like he did when he was living on Caprica. He's suave, debonair, dressed to the nines, all dressed up and everything. He matched the environment of his house. Whereas here, he matches the environment his body is in.
You could also say as well it's slightly symbolic of Baltar being dragged down to reality. Is a good way, kind of how I see it. His reality, because one thing that this show does accentuate is there is a reality that everyone accepts, but everyone has their own little reality that they live in, and that's true for everyone in life, I believe. So I think that's a really great thing to point out. This his dynamic with Six, and we've seen a couple of sixes. Is every time we see six, is that the same six? Right? That's another question you could throw out there. Um, yeah, it's a mind frack, guys. I wish I could get into more depth there, but you know, can't because we can't spoil you. Not too much, anyway.
If you think there are going to be answers anytime soon, you're wrong.
You haven't been doing that attention thing that you can't afford to pay for. Um, but I don't know. What else would you like to bring up on this? I think this was a really good episode. They covered it very well.
Yes, they did.
And this is mainly about getting what they don't cover. There wasn't a whole lot of behind the scenes with this, not as much as usual. But I think this episode's so straightforward, you don't really need much explanation. That's in my opinion. A lot of symbolism here, but it's not as heavy as most other episodes with the symbolism, if that makes sense. You get a little more of a straightforward emotional gut check to the gut with this, and some excitement as well, which, how can you not like excitement? Would you like to, I don't know, any final thoughts? You could rant as long as you want, man.
One other thing I want to bring up is, and stick in this, please. Will, and if so, how long will the secret about Crashdown's demise hold up? And this is something I want the panel to think about this week.
Yeah,
And come.
that's a good
Because
point.
there's this collective agreement, silent collective agreement, between Celix, Callie, Chief Tyrrell, and Baltar that Crashdown died a hero. He was shot by the Cylons. Now, as Ben Franklin said, 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. I just want to know if anybody thinks there are eventually going to be repercussions about that.
Oh, there has to be. In a sense, I think Mackenzie is one of the ones that pointed out that it would be a lot like when they were being interrogated and, well, shoot, which episode was that? Where everybody was being separated and interrogated. I can't say if it will or won't be exactly like that, but
Litmus was the episode.
And I think that was a very astute analysis by Mackenzie there.
With Sergeant Bitch.
Yeah, Sergeant Bitch. I think that Baltar and Tyrrell have complete different motivations for keeping it silent. The Jill's picked up on that right away, so that's not really any spoiler. You can imagine that Baltar's going to take advantage of it. Tyrrell did it out of sheer, that's who Tyrrell is. He's going to do it out of honor. He doesn't want to talk ill of the dead. He's that kind of guy. He's that guy. So it's within his character. Baltar, I am the vice president. That's his middle name, if you're not wondering. If everybody out there's wondering, could have motivations that may startle you, or may be obvious to you. There's many different things I believe Baltar can use with this information. Which route he decides to go, I think, is going to be the most interesting route. And will it even be Baltar, the one that actually gets it brought out or brings it to light, so to speak, or will it come through someone else? Because Callie knows about this. I don't think she's a rat, but how secret can she keep it when she has all these emotions? She's been through a few things. She was the one almost killed. She was literally probably a nanosecond from being murdered. She may just confide in the wrong person. So there are many things here, and then Baltar could use it. You know, at some point, he knows it'll come out. I think, uh, you know, he plays chess. It's one thing you got to give Baltar. So, and it'd be exciting to see what the hell he's going to do with it. You know, yeah, it's exciting. That's all I can really say. I don't want to give too much away here.
Well, you got to think about the debt that Callie owes Baltar now, and to an extent, that Tyrell owes Baltar. Like, I mean, Callie's like Callie's his right hand person, you know, and Baltar saved her life. Like Tyrell knew he should have pulled that trigger, but he didn't.
He didn't. He didn't. His motives, and hey, he may be a Cylon, right? To everyone on the panel. There you go. He couldn't pull the trigger because he was a Cylon. You could argue that everything, you know, you had the whole point six predicting the future. Someone will betray you, and all of that jazz. So was this all set up? And I think one of the Jills said they think that crashed down to Cylon, that it could be possible that you know, he was sent there basically to be Baltar's person he killed. And given Six's rationale, I think it's possible because she sees some of the Cylon models. If you're going off the one you see on Caprica, she sees some of the Cylon models as more human and not really even Cylons. Like Sharon, she barely even recognizes Sharon as being a Cylon, which I think is very intriguing. That you should stick a pin in that as well. Uh, there's a lot of things you should stick a pin into. It's so hard not to spoil, but I love it. Uh, yeah, I can't wait for the mustache twirls on Friday. And yeah.
Oh, this is a good episode coming up on Friday.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Do you want to give your teaser? Or do you want me to do mine first?
Yeah. Okay. Well, as we know, I always try and go with song lyrics. So my teaser for this week will be "We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. I know we'll meet again some sunny day."
That's pretty good. See, mine are funny and short-lived here. Cobra Kai to the rescue.
Cobra Kai never die.
Sweep the leg, Johnny. You know, my favorite character. You know, I can relate, right? Johnny swept many a leg in his day. You know, screw Danielson. And Baltar lives up to Six's human standards. I think so pretty good. Ominous teaser. With that, I would like to thank everyone for watching. John, music makes people come together. That will be in the descriptions. Would you like to give a little shout out for that and say what's upcoming on your channel? And I'll do the same for mine.
Yeah. Music makes people come together. It's my channel. We talk about music. And break down history behind things and so forth. I mean, that's even more than any other fandom or anything I have. It's my biggest passion. And later tonight, Midweek Music Ear Candy is going to be coming out. And there's a very special episode of Midweek Music Ear Candy this week. But I'm going to let you all see that when it comes up this evening. And that's always a subscriber-based thing. I post on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Mondays, and try and share music. I usually try and keep it thematic. Once in a while, I do dealer's choice. Also, I'm going to be with a couple of other content creators, switching around between our channels, breaking down, if you're into Game of Thrones, their families with a track per character. We each come up with our own playlist, and we're going to be talking about that. We'll be dropping tomorrow night.
That'll be fun. Definitely tune into that. I'll put a link below to everyone's channels. Also like to give a shout out to the Cylon Jills, Mackenzie L. Burns, Amy True, Bobby Catalano, and Clarissa Thompson. thank you so much for all your hard work, and we will see you on Friday. So say we all, John.
Let's see, we all.
You can also catch me on my channel, Johnny Be Crazy. It'll be
Yeah,
in the
do you have
description.
anything coming up soon, Johnny?
Yeah, Vikings at 2:00, season 5, episode 20, finale, Ragnarok. So, will Bjorn die? What's gonna happen in Vikings? Will Ivar win? All that good stuff. Don't know what else I got coming up yet, but it'll be lined up soon. And just be on the lookout. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Let's see, we all.
So say we all.